Hello everyone, it's Pixel again, and here is my review of The Last Something Sweet to Bite, which is chapter 21, titled The Wake. Yeah, The Wake. So, first and foremost, disclaimer, I own nothing. Everything belongs to the rightful owners, so please go and support them and be nice, please. And once again, some viewers may find this disturbing, but viewer discretion is advised, please. So yeah, this is the last chapter in the story. And it starts off with Sunset waking up. And she is she wakes up and it appears that she was having that dream again. And she gets up and although she doesn't quite remember the events of the night, but she does remember finding Flash Sentry, along with a few other survivors, after she presumably saved everyone from the candy mare and apparently the curse was lifted. But it's also stated that once... Sorry about that. The candy mare's influence was removed, it left some of them in a coma. And, yeah. And apparently Flash has... Well, Sunset wonders how much Flash Sentry remembers about that night, but he doesn't like talking about it, and neither does Sunset, because... And frankly, who can blame them? So they decide that they'll wait until they want to talk about it. But yeah, and also Sunset seems older now, like, because, well, I'll explain, but she actually did apologize to Flash Sentry for using him. And it actually started a brand new relationship between them. And it actually... it actually led to them presumably getting married to one another. And because a little girl appears wearing a mask, which is a dragon's mask. I am so sorry, I cannot speak. But yeah, a little girl who apparently is Sunset's and Flash Sentry's daughter. And she asks Sunset if she, because she walks up behind her and scares her, but Sunset tells her that it was a that it was an excellent roar, but she also tells that she has to be quiet because her father is sleeping. And apparently their daughter is named Pumpkin Shimmer Sentry. Or just Pumpkin. And so, yeah, and Sunset tells her that she's going to go make breakfast while Pumpkin goes to get ready for preschool. And yeah, that's what she does. She makes some pancakes and she waits for Pumpkin to, finish getting dressed and eating her breakfast, but she doesn't come down to eat breakfast with her. And Sunset tells her that the food is getting cold, and Sunset fears that something may have happened to her. So she goes upstairs and to her daughter's bedroom and sees that it's empty, except for clothing and toys, and even a stuffed pony with one of its ears ripped off. But Pumpkin is nowhere in sight. And then Sunset hears something coming from her and Flash's room. And Sunset thinks that she just went to wake up her dad and say goodbye before going to school. So yeah, Sunset goes to get Pumpkin, but Sunset, something else is there that Sunset doesn't expect. And she sees that Flash Sentry's chest has apparently Pumpkin ended up carving a hole into her father's chest, and she's now sitting in it, and as well, yeah. And Sunset doesn't know what, she is shocked at this. She doesn't know what to do, what to say, but the only thing she does is asks her daughter why. And Pumpkin says that she was just hungry and she couldn't wait for breakfast. And apparently her face now becomes the Candy Mare, telling Sunset not to worry and it's just a nightmare. And it seems that all of this was a nightmare Sunset was having, or well, it was more like a dream that turned into a nightmare. Sorry about that. So, yeah, Sunset wakes up and she's somewhere else. And she's not... Basically, it appears that Sunset hasn't been eating anything. And apparently, she remembers her dream and the nightmare and says that it's starting again. Which is probably the reason why she doesn't want to eat. So she gets up and sorry about that, excuse me. I am so sorry, excuse me. I am so sorry about that, pardon me. So yeah, I am so sorry. I'm sorry, I just hate it when that happens. So yeah, Sunset, she doesn't know exactly where she is, and she tries to remember. But one thing she isn't sure about is that she feels like something in the darkness is calling her name. And it's also laughing. And it's revealed that Sunset is actually in a padded cell. And yeah. And she's also greeted by a rather familiar figure. Well, a familiar person, and it's actually Lemon Drop, who apparently is Sunset's therapist. And then Sunset she basically remembers going back through the portal into the human world and defeating and seeing the students and basically Canterlot High being burned to the ground. And she also remembers the Candy Mare. She remembers trying to save the lives of the students. And she also remembers fighting the Candy Mare and how she won, how Sunset won and saved sorry about that. How she saved Flash Sentry and saved basically countless worlds, but apparently the firefighters, they found her after they managed to get control of the fire, and apparently they found her laughing over the Candy Mare's corpse. And she wonders, why isn't, it's over now, I've won. She's gone. She's gone. But it turns out that this was just the beginning. Apparently, Sunset was blamed for everything. But of course, there was also the thing that one person that she was, if she had really did this all on her own, then she probably could have had help, because she couldn't have been that, there's no telling how responsible she was for the carnage in one single night. Yeah, in one single night. They think that's impossible. But other people were brought in for questioning, but sorry about this. But Sunset was the only one that was found alive at the scene. And the surviving students that survived, of course, they ended up falling into comas, and even Flash ended up in one after everything. So, yeah, and sorry about that. And Sunset's past was, well, what's left of it was brought up. Basically how, she used to be a troublemaker at school, how she tried to attack the school. But Sunset doesn't get the chance to defend herself. And yeah. So, but Sunset, apparently, she did try to tell, everyone about what really happened during that time. How, about the candy mare, and how it ended up killing her friends. And she also confesses about her being a unicorn. But, of course, they don't find the portal. So there's pretty much no evidence or witnesses to back up Sunset's side of the story. And at this point, there's not even much that can even be done. And it ends up with Sunset being put in a asylum. Sorry about that. Yeah. She ends up being put into an asylum where apparently it seems that she was assigned to Lemon Drop. And yeah, so, and all Sunset does is just smile at Lemon Drop as apparently he's trying to help her. But Sunset gets the feeling he's just doing this to fill his pockets. And yeah, she thinks that he's just doing this just for the money. And yeah. But Sunset sees someone standing by her. Nobody can see her or hear her, but Sunset apparently can. And it seems that she doesn't, of course, she doesn't want this. And Sunset starts both sobbing and laughing as she sees what appears to be a candy version of herself watching over her, telling her that she's just a dream. That she's just a dream outside of... that she's, well, basically a dream of a better life, and apparently of revenge. And Sunset, she basically now feels... she now feels guilty about everything. Like, she wants all of this to just end. Like, and the story actually ends with this. Those thoughts seem to make her companion smile. Not yet, but soon. Nightmare Night will come again. A nightmare of their own making. The entity bent down and lifted Sunset's chin with one long clawed finger, lifting her gaze so that she looked lemon drop right in his cold, calculating eyes. Snot and tears streamed down Sunset's face, but she couldn't help laughing, sending flakes of foam flying from her mouth as she saw through him, saw to the tomorrow that he thought was a mere dream, a mad woman's fantasy, but that would become far more real than he could ever hope to be with his stupid clothes, his stupid clothes, and his fake smile. Candy whispered, "There will be so many sweets to bite." In spite of herself, her stomach growled. Hoo-wee! And that was the final chapter in the last Something Sweet to Bite. So, yeah. But that's not the end for the Candy Mare just yet, because, yeah, like, yeah, like, it's almost like it was, once again, and I'll say it again, it almost was like Sunset won too easily. Like, it's almost as if that was too easy. And it actually seems that the Candy Mare is... well, it appears that she doesn't have, like, a physical body anymore. She's just some kind of spirit now. That apparently... it seems that she's still haunting Sunset. Because... it seems that the Candy Mare is now going to come up with a new plan, since it appears that, I think a new plan in order to make herself physical, give herself a physical form again. Sorry about that. And yeah, and I actually get the feeling that this is like the spirit or the curse that turned Pumpkin Patch into the Candy Mare, and it seems that it's trying to do the thing. I cannot speak. I am sorry. That it's trying to do the same thing with Sunset. And I won't lie, once again, this chapter reminded me a lot of, like, the ending of Nightmare on Elm Street, where it seems like everything is fine, but it's not over yet, and it turns out it was just another dream. Because there's actually, some hints that this might be a dream, because, or, like, everything is not as it seems, like, yeah, it's not as it seems, like, And because, well, in the first part of the chapter, Sunset and Flash have a daughter named Pumpkin, which is the name, well, it was the Candy Mare's name before she became, well, what she is now. And also, the fact that Pumpkin apparently likes to wear masks, presumably ones that are dragon, because in the beginning she's wearing a dragon's mask, instead of being, like, a knight or a princess. Like, I get the feeling that there's some, yeah, like, instead of, like, it either being a princess or a knight. And I can't help but feel like there's some symbolism there. Sorry about that. But yeah, and also, there's also the thing about Lemon Drop, well, his human counterpart at least, because it seems that, like, we don't see much of him here, but, like, it could be safe to say that he's not that different from than what he was like in Equestria. Since he was, well, responsible for the Candy Mare's existence. But yeah, like, and, I mean, yeah. And I have to wonder, and I also kind of wonder, like, is there, like, an actual, like, Equestria Girls version of the Candy Mare, or even Pumpkin Patch at this point? I mean, I'm probably wrong, but I don't know, since, well, we see, like, the human counterpart for Lemon Drop, but then again, that's probably just wishful thinking on my part. But, yeah, and also, this kind of reminded me a little bit of the ending to The Ring, where, yeah, it seems like the heroes won, but it turns out that they didn't actually win. It didn't, because in The Ring, helping Samara it didn't stop her, but, well, well, yeah, it didn't stop her, but because, he says that she wasn't supposed to help her. And instead, it just, well, it didn't seemingly do anything except, well, there's the whole, like, loophole for, like, making a copy of the tape so somebody else could watch it. But yeah, it didn't seem to work. And yeah. And also, yeah, but yeah, it seems that the Candy Mirror still has another trick up her sleeve. And because the ending of this story is, like, yeah, it's, like, it kind of goes to show that that the Candy Mirror is not finished yet. So, yeah, and that's it for now, but regardless, I do hope you all enjoyed, and thank you all for watching, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!